Friday. It was daylight savings time. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm gonna go ahead and blame my poor diet and no one's guides for the fact that I had two Charlie horses in both, one Charlie horse in each calf that shocked me out of my sleep. Where I'm saying, what the fuck? What the fuck? So, no introduction. Hi. There you go. Hi. Greeting. There is something so greatly. There's a love coming for you, and you are so scared. You are terrified of what is to come. What is the possibility? Ugh, I got to sleep in a little bit, but then here I am. I threw on some clothes. I don't know where I know I wore this last yesterday, maybe the day before, but I figured be presentable enough, like at least have clothes on for the camera. Oy, oy, oy. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay that you're scared and you feel like you're running, or if you feel like things are moving too fast, or so fast all of a sudden. Um, I recommend doing stretching. I recommend drinking liquids that hydrate you. There's liquid IV that can be nice. There's magnesium foot sprays that you can put on that helps. Um, there is not much you can really do about it, with the change that's coming on. Just like kind of the same with like a Charlie horse. Like you can kind of like, I've gotten Charlie horses a lot in my life, like a lot in my life, and but like as a kid more than anything. And then I learned how to like not have that happen because it is the most intense form of hell. Um, as a child, even with all the stuff I had been through, being shocked out of your sleep and your calves just being so tight and tense. Now in TCM, calves hold fear. And I get scared, of course. I'm full of fear. I'm a parent. I'm a woman. There's plenty of things to be afraid of. I don't even watch the news and there's still plenty of stuff to be afraid of. But there's plenty of stuff to be afraid of, and fear that is trapped in the body tends to be trapped in the calves. Calves really launch you forward. They help really. Calves do so much when it comes to running, jumping, all that. It reminds me of the story of Achilles, how he died because of his ankle. And I don't know about you. I mean, I have not ever been shot with a bow or an arrow, with the bow and arrow mix. But Jesus, it felt like an arrow. It felt so sharp and so painful. And so, say you're dehydrated, you forget to stretch or whatever. You're in the middle of war. You get a Charlie horse so bad that it takes you down. You think that you think, and then at that point you're subdued. You're able to be taken because 434, as I say this, you're now weakened, and it could have been something avoided if and Achilles has come up a lot lately, and it could have been avoided if he did proper stretching, if he had proper diet. Like Our Achilles tendon goes all the way up. Like it doesn't go all the way up. Like there's the tendon, and then it morphs into other things. But like it doesn't even just go straight up to your head, but kind of everything does. Kind of everything is connected in your body. Not kind of. Everything is connected. We're all just one. We're all on one little balloon of flesh and stuff inside, and we're connected by this flesh. Um, but the Achilles tendon, um, one can affect all the way up to the back, and the back can affect all the way down to the tendon. So it's kind of like chicken egg scenario. The reason why I know about all this stuff and why I even think with Achilles and all that, perhaps in a past life I was the warrior Achilles. Anyway, there's a painting of Achilles in drag where his mom was like, "Oh no, you're gonna die in this war. I don't want you to go there." So they had him dressed as a beautiful woman, and and they couldn't tell. The people who were looking for him couldn't tell who was who. And so the way that they did it is that they brought a bunch of gifts, and all of it was just a bunch of different treasures and all that. And all the ladies were like, "Oh my gosh, this jewelry! Look at these fabrics, blah blah." And Achilles is like, "Whoa, look at this sword! This sword is so cool! Have you seen this sword?" And so that's how they knew it was Achilles. Because he didn't act like a woman. He acted like a boy in drag. He still had his own things that he liked. Um, but he still ended up going to war, and he did end up dying in that war. And according to the tales, and perhaps he was very fearful of it. And when we move in fear, oftentimes it does lead to a lack of belief in self. So, now specifically for me, I've been riding out a Charlie horse, or like avoiding a Charlie horse for a while. Like in this specific calf, this calf, and like my whole right side is messed up. Whenever I was a kid, I was on a seesaw. I had a back injury. My stepbrother went off, and I fell to the ground with this very heavy metal seesaw that just. Have you ever done like a bat? Like whenever you've like hit with the metal bat, or even a wood bat, and it like shakes all the way through and it hurts. That's what happened to my spine. Um, and I don't know which one came first. They say that I have a fused spine. So two of my vertebrae are fused together. Just a bit. Just a bit. um, and they say it could have happened at birth, or it could have happened because of that injury, and I was young enough to where it just fused and it looked like stem cells are still around. So, but that causes a lot of strange compression, and also my hips are tilted now, just a bit. So I'm always like standing one way or another. All these small things. I also walk on the outside of my feet, which causes, if you're not walking flat, that means these inner muscles of the leg, or like tendons of the legs, are actually curling in and atrophying. So whenever we do it the other way, they're a bit too tight. So whenever I'm flexing my foot up is whenever I often will get a Charlie horse or something. And it's usually due to, yes, foods probably, but also the actual physiology of my body, the anatomy and physiology of my body. And so I will get, ooh, I'm doing some stuff on my calves. Um, we have big calves in my family, and like technically, I feel like my calves are small in comparison to my thighs. But but my calves themselves are still large in comparison to calves, but proportionately, you know, um. So sometimes it's really hard to get in there and massage them, and also massaging a calf is crazy sauce, and your thighs. So I go to physical therapy, and that helps. Um, to be quite frank, they're always providing, exercises to do and whatnot in those times, or even before that to prevent it. Um, and those little tiny things have really helped a lot. Like, but it's also about consistency, or remembering to do it. Like before I get out of bed, I do some stretches and all that. So then I just like don't throw myself into things. Um, but it seems like it's common sense, the stuff that they're teaching there. It seems like stuff that you should know, but we don't know. And I wonder why that is. I wonder why we don't know so much about our bodies. Because I went to phys ed, but I don't remember being edited on phys. Because I feel unedited. Okay. Yeah, I've got stuff to do today. Um, as you can hear, my dog is snoring very loudly. As some stuff came up, so. Mm-hmm. I got a couple appointments to go to. A couple appointments back to back. Appointments that were set for me. So anyway, um, yeah, the desire is to speak with a very special guest. Every guest is special, but the desire is to speak with this person in particular. I waited a long time to speak with them, and then this comes up, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" Like, I feel like I'm being told something like, be patient. Like, what is going to happen with this interview that's going to change the world so much that I have to keep being patient like this? And then also be like, okay, well, great. Now I look inconsistent because I'm having to reschedule. Um, but the whole point is to be consistent and imperfect. So I'm around, but still, I will let the day happen as it happens. And hopefully, we just get out of those appointments early, and then I could do the interview even earlier. Maybe even right now. Anyway, much love to everyone. In the meantime, lovies, y'all keep a lookout for the numbers and stay synchronized.